All right, so let's get started. So for those of you that might be new here, my name is Nancy. I am Nancy from Nancy Inspired, and I have a gift that I call soul telepathy. It's a gift that I am able to hear what your soul is trying to tell you. When I do individual readings, it's just you, like what your soul is trying to tell you. Where it gets esoteric is your soul tells me things that I wouldn't know, I guess. When I do collective readings like this, I tap into what is the most important thing for everybody here at this moment in time. The first 45 minutes or so, I do just what's the messaging for the whole group. And then the last 45 minutes or so, I take in individual names. Don't put your name in yet because it will get lost in the chat. When I say that I'm ready, you can put your name in, and then we'll tap in for everybody that's here. If you were here last week and I missed you because we ran out of time, I try to put those people at the beginning. So there we go. You're so sweet. Maybe I was supposed to accidentally take. I'll have to take a look and see what that picture looks like. Yeah, we are at the spray park, so my hair is doing its thing, and then a friend of mine came, and actually it's turning into messaging already. Isn't that interesting? And I haven't even finished tapping into you guys yet. All right, I'm just going to tap in and then I can start going. So, and then I'll finish my thought. So can I, man, shall I do a reading for my Insight Timer friends and family, both those that are listening now and both those that listen later? And that's a yes. Is there any reason why I shouldn't at this moment in time? Nope. Then I'm going to ask that we cleanse, clear, and balance the space, our hearts, minds, bodies, and our spirits on all levels for our highest and best good. We're just going to allow a white, blue light to swirl counterclockwise, clearing out everything in the space that doesn't serve us. Any energy, anything that's not helpful at this moment in time. And cleanse, clear, and balance our hearts, our minds, bodies, and our spirits. If it's comfortable to do so, just close your eyes and just imagine a blue-white light swirling around us. All is this beautiful collective consciousness that we create together. We're just going to create a little bubble of energy around us. We're just clearing this space out of anything that doesn't serve at this moment in time. Cleanse, clear, and balance our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and our spirits on all levels for our highest and best good. A little bit of extra to clear today. That's okay. We'll take our time. There we go. All right. Then we're just going to fill up this space with love and light and blessing. And I'm going to ask that everybody's intuition be raised to the highest level that they can accommodate with at this moment in time. Allow their souls to speak freely and clearly for everyone's highest and best good. And I'm just going to add a little bubble of protection around the group so that only that which serves is welcome in. All right, here we go. I've got some blueberry ginseng tea. And let's get started. So, yeah, okay, that's right. We jump back into that train of thought that I was going on a moment ago. So, what I'm hearing is be yourself, which is an interesting message, especially in this day and age. So, in this day and age, we are shown constantly the best of the best of the best. When you're scrolling, you see, the last take, which is the best take, and you see filters and this and that, and so we see the best of the best of the best all the time. So the idea of average or ordinary has lost its significance. I mean, within the average range was a good thing, to be within the average range. Now we're kind of striving for this best, and sometimes it's not attainable. And where I was going to start to go with that was that when I first started doing these lives, I felt like I had to put on makeup and get myself all, nice up. And then I thought, you know what? For one, I just don't have time for that. And for two, this is me, right? And I'm hearing embrace the me. At first when I started doing lives, and I because basically I stare at myself in the camera because I see your little bubbles going. And it was distracting at first, you notice all the little things. And now I don't notice that anymore. I notice just what feels. And so what I'm hearing is be yourself. That we don't need to strive to be perfect. We don't need to strive for this high ideal. We don't need to live up to this best of the best expectation, and to recognize that our the culture of social media and whatnot shows us just that best of the best, and it's not realistic to expect that we can be that and live up to that all the time, and that puts an intense amount of pressure on people. And hearing, like back in the day we used to call it beer commercial friends, when people, you looked like you were supposed to be having the best time ever, like in a beer commercial. I don't know, that's what we used to call it. And now, and that just used to be in one thing. I mean, I'm aging myself here, but now that is constant. That inundation of this is what it's supposed to be like. This is the life you're supposed to be living. This is the life you're supposed to be having. This is the da 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 da. And what I'm hearing is be yourself and own what you are. I just heard when you are, how you are, at all times. I'm hearing to remind us a little bit. I don't know what it's called in Buddhism, but I'm hearing that it's a Buddhist teaching um, where it's about being. Maybe someone who practices Buddhism would know better, but being in the now, but not wanting, not having expectations. Now, it's one thing to set goals and work towards them. It's another to have this sort of expectation that, like, oh, okay, when I have enough money, I'll be happy. When I lose 20 pounds, I'll be happy. When I, whatever, I'll be happy. And it's about recognizing that it's your job to be happy now in the situation you are with what you have. And rather than thinking of scarcity mindset, recognizing and celebrating everything you do have right now. Easier said than done sometimes, but there is a real beauty and a joy and gratitude. What I'm hearing is that when we live in that place of gratitude for the now, for what we have now, what that does is open us up to possibility, is what I'm hearing. When we are grateful for the now, there is room then for possibility. And I heard even magic. So when we are grateful for the now, when we're focused in the now, when we're present in the now, and especially approaching the now with love rather than with longing, approaching the now with love and gratitude, what I'm hearing is that actually opens us up. Okay, what I'm hearing is that it's like a funnel. When we are, I know I've been doing this with my hands, and I'm like, I'm not actually even sure what I'm doing. Now I know it's a funnel. When we are opening ourselves up. So this is what I'm hearing is the imagery. When we are in a scarcity mindset, we're here. We're thinking, okay, if I just get more money, or if I just lose 20 pounds, or whatever it is that we're holding on to, I can be happy, I can relax, I can be content if this is what's happening. When we are in the now, but we are opening ourselves to gratitude, to love, to recognizing what we have, we start opening ourselves up like this, and it becomes a funnel straight, as you'll notice, into the heart chakra. So it's like this, opening up into the now. So when we open up from a scarcity mindset to a celebrating everything we have at the moment, the way it is right now, it creates a funnel for abundance, is what I'm hearing. Oh, look at that, a little heart shape too. So it makes a little funnel for abundance that goes right into our heart. So recognizing that you don't have to be anything, do anything, that you can be content and happy right now, the way you are. Even if things are not the way you think they should be or the way you'd like them, which I totally understand. Believe me, I totally understand that. However, if we're approaching things from a place of gratitude, it actually creates a funnel for all the goodness and the abundance to come filtering right through, right into our heart chakra. That was a cool little image that we were just given. I actually really like that. I really like that. Scarcity, focusing on lack, focusing on abundance, and the fact that we love everything we have right now leads to a funnel of abundance right to the heart. I love that. If anyone's a painter, that's a cool image to make. Okay. That was message number 1. All right, let's check it. What else is happening? All right. So, all right. So, in the being thankful and present for the now, what I also heard is release that which doesn't serve us. And I was instantly made aware of our digestive system. So, this actually happened to me, a number of years ago. I was out on a walk and I was just reflecting on letting go. There was a situation that I kind of had to let go of, sort of take what I could from the situation and then let go. And as I was letting go, as I was like mentally letting go and thinking about letting go, I had to go to the bathroom. And I was out on a walk in the middle of the forest at the dog park. There's no bathrooms. And so I started thinking about your digestive system. And I was all of a sudden given the wisdom that it is a fantastic analogy for letting go. So we take in all sorts of stuff. Some of it's good for us, some of it's not good for us. We take in, as far as nutrients, we can take in all kinds of stuff. And then, your body magically figures out what things it wants to hold on to and keep as nutrition and fuel you and help you grow and help you be strong and whatnot. And then it literally gets rid of the rest. It lets go and gets rid of everything that doesn't serve you. And it's a perfect analogy for what we need to do with the energy around us. I'm going to start there. That's where I'm hearing to just pause for a minute, is the energy around us. So wherever you live, wherever you are, the people you live with, the people you work with, the people you interact with, they're all expelling energy of various kinds, as they're working through stuff. Maybe it's celebratory energy. I know when I go to any place where people are like praying or that kind of thing, I'll feel almost teary, like it's an emotional response. When I hear children singing and celebrating, and that joy, that excitement, children performing or doing stuff, I'll get teary because it's an overwhelming emotion. It's because of all their parents that are like, oh, I love my kid and look what they're doing, they're so great. That energy is pouring out into the atmosphere around me, and I ingest it. On the other end, when I go to a shopping mall, I just heard, I went to Las Vegas once with my family, and as much as there's a lot of really great like theater shows and stuff there, the energy of Vegas, no offense to anyone who might be from Vegas, I don't mean this, but there's a lot of want and need, at least where I was in Vegas, like on the Strip. I was there with my family. And I was overwhelmed by those feelings of want and need, to the point that I started internalizing, feeling that lack and that want and that need. So we are encountering energy all the time and what's being expelled by others. There's also certain places that are holding energy in the land, and some of it's really great. If you've ever had the opportunity to go to Salt Spring Island, I don't know what it is about Salt Spring Island, but it has the most beautiful energy there. And then I've also been some places that, were, well, one of the places was kind of a hub for the slave trade back in the day, and it's in the land and you can feel it. What I'm hearing though is that we need to recognize that we have the ability to take in the energy that's around us and then take what is useful, what we need to learn from, because sometimes things that we consider negative aren't actually negative, they're just things that we're learning from. But take what we can learn from that energy and then expel the rest, get rid of the rest. How can that be done? I'm hearing the question and the first answer that came was through your breath. So connecting with your breath and literally just expelling your breath, I'm hearing is the number one quickest way to just expel the energy. So if you are in a space and you're feeling extra energy that does not belong to you, just letting go of that breath. You can even just try it right now. I'm hearing that that is the number one. So I'm hearing that when we were designed, when this human form was designed, we were given all kinds of tools that some we've forgotten about along the way. And one of the tools is our breath. And I know if you're familiar with meditating, which you are because you're on Insight Timer, breath is often the start to meditation, is focusing your breath, taking some deep breaths, centering your breath, becoming aware of your breath. But breathing is, I'm hearing, a system that was designed in order to help us heal and maintain our energetic balance. And so I'm hearing use your breath. Use your breath to bring in what you want. So, you want love and light and blessing. I'm going to bring that in, and then you let go of any tension, stress, anything that doesn't serve you. Whenever you're in a position or a place that the energy is not matching yours, or you're feeling off, or it doesn't feel good for you, you can use your breath to expel that energy. So again, you take in what serves you, what nourishes you, what you can learn from, and release. The other thing that I'm hearing, the way to release some negative energy or things that you've taken on that you don't need, is through movement. What I'm hearing is any kind of big physical movements, whether it's like dancing, running, but any big physical movements will also expel energy that you've taken on that you don't want. So breathing and big movements, our bodies have been designed that way. What I'm hearing is that when we do big movements, there is systems within our body that it actually pumps the energy through your body. And I guess I'm thinking about the lymphatic system. Is that the system we're talking about? Yes, it is. Okay. I don't understand a whole lot about the lymphatic system, but I just was learning about it not too long ago. And it is central for our immune system. And that when our lymphatic system is out of whack, that's when we can start having some health problems. And what I'm hearing is that big movements, and I don't know anyone who's a physiologist or physiotherapist or doctor or anyone that knows more about the body than me, feel free to chime in and explain it, because I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. But the lymphatic system is designed so that big movements actually pump whatever it is it's pumping through. I'm hearing that it's all kinds of things, from like energetic work to things that your body actually needs. Endocrine system, your hormones, maybe. I think that's what I'm hearing. All right, but it's also the way that we move energy. So our breath, not only is it just an exchange of oxygen, carbon dioxide, that kind of thing, but it is actually moving energy through our body. Same with big movements, lymphatic system. So if you are feeling a little stuck, if you're feeling a little heavy, if you're feeling like you've eaten a giant turkey dinner energetically, then some movement and some breath will help you to expel the energy that you don't need, that is not serving you. And I'm hearing that that is important to put your systems to work and let go of what doesn't serve you. And the metaphor for that is your digestive system, because all the energetic systems are the same. Anything else on that? No. All right. A couple rapid fire messages here. Just going to check the chat. Hello. Hello, Angela. Hello, Heather. Hello, Julie. Hello, Jem. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Nina. Nina, put your name in when I'm ready. When I tell you about 45 minutes in, I'll ask for names, and then I'll do individuals then. But not quite ready yet. like you said, the flowing into the heart in your hands, the informed heart. I know, isn't that cool? That was such great imagery. I was like, I usually don't get I do talk with my hands sometimes as I'm getting messaging, but that was a very cool image. I like that, the funnel, and then into the little heart. All right. Next bit of messaging. What am I hearing for the group today? Okay. What I'm hearing is don't underestimate the need for rest. I have been working really hard at improving my sleep because I was chronically sleep deprived, just trying to fit too much in, couldn't shut my brain off, that kind of thing. But I am hearing the importance of sleep. As I'm saying that, now I'm going to yawn. There, now all of you are going to yawn because yawning is contagious. All right. Sorry about that. What I'm hearing is don't underestimate the power of rest. That rest is essential, and that we don't realize how hard we are working emotionally, and that rest is essential. When we sleep, I am hearing that not only do we recharge and rejuvenate our systems and we regenerate different things, but it's also the primary opportunity for communication. At one point in my life, I was a dreamer. I would dream and I would get messages in my dreams, and they were awesome, and I loved it. Then I had children, and now I dream very sporadically. At one point, in a dream, I was given the name Woman Who Speaks from Her Dreams, and I'm hoping at some point that it all comes back. But sleeping is essential for that to happen. So not only is sleeping and resting important for your health and well-being physically and mentally, but it is also the primary time for communication. So even if you are not aware of your dreams, if you don't wake up remembering your dreams, those ideas are in your subconscious. Those communications are in your subconscious. Even creativity is germinated in your dream. You go to sleep with a problem, you have a dream, you might not even remember it, but your brain's been working on it all the way. So when you wake up, you're like, oh, I know what I need to do. So primary form of communication is rest. The other thing that I am hearing is that if you are healing from anything physical, anything mental, anything emotional, physical, we seem to be more okay with. We recognize if someone has surgery, they need some rest. If someone's sick, they need some rest. We somehow don't give the same care and attention to when we are struggling mentally and emotionally, needing rest. And so that's what I'm hearing is for anyone here today that is struggling at all with mental or emotional needs healing. Don't underestimate the power of rest, and that rest is essential. Now, does that mean sleeping all the time? No, right? Often I know when people are struggling with depression, sometimes that can be a problem where all you want to do is sleep. That's not what we're talking about, but we are talking about giving yourself some break as you are healing to allow yourself some extra rest, because we tend not to do that. So allowing yourself to recognize the power of rest and stopping. So yeah, I'm hearing to tell you a story. So recently I've been sort of asking, okay, what's next? I've been working with this gift for a significant period of time. I've evolved in lots of ways, but I feel like the way that this gift came on so magically and boom, all of a sudden, I've always been very intuitive, and I have lots of, stories of things I've done as a kid, but the gift of soul telepathy was, here, now do it. I've been asking, okay, well, what's next? What am I supposed to do with this next? Where do I go next? What's happening with this next? And the answer I get every time when I pull cards, when I pull runes, when I do free flow journal writing, is stop, listen, and meditate. Stop, listen, and meditate. I don't stop enough. I have a beautiful black cat. Most of you have met Binks. The moment I sit down, right now the door is closed or he would be on me. The moment I sit or lie down, he comes and sits with me. And it makes me realize how seldom I sit and lie down. I am always go, 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 go. And I'm hearing that it is important that sometimes we just need to stop. I'm hearing that right now we live in a time of constant information. Not just constant information being given to us, but we have constant information accessible to us. I don't know how many times a day. Well, someone was asking me about ketchup. Can ketchup be something other than tomato? And I was like, I don't know. Let's look it up. And information is constantly there. Okay, so what I just heard was that it's not just on our phones. It's not just in that. It's in the ether. There's so much information constantly buzzing. Every time somebody's thinking a thought, that energetic transmission is put out into the ether. So we are constantly being bombarded, even on an energetic level, with information. Well, it's funny. I just heard, it's just like my granddaughter who wants my attention. She's like, Nana, 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 Nana. I can't focus on what I'm doing because she's going, Nana, Nana, Nana. And it's usually just when I'm like on the phone or something, and important phone call, and Nana, 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 right? That's what's going on all the time. So what I'm hearing is it is essential, I'm hearing, to just stop sometimes. Just stop and sit and empty and just be. Or when you're out walking, or, rather than just trying to get somewhere, even if you are on your way somewhere, if you're commuting, just be present, be mindful in that moment. If you're eating, be present and mindful in that moment. I am so guilty of not doing this. No, I shouldn't say I just got, don't say you feel guilty, because it's not a judgment thing. It's not a judgment thing. I do this, and I would like to work on not doing this as much. I would like to slow down, but I'm hearing that it is essential to stop, even if it's just 1 minute, just to stop and listen. And if we can stop and listen, we will truly hear. We will hear what our own souls are telling us. We will hear messaging. We will hear connection from others. We will hear guidance and direction. And so it's about stopping. I know I've been getting that wisdom over and over and over again. And have I listened to it? A little bit, but not as much as I could. So stopping and listening. All right. The next thing I'm hearing about is actually learning how to listen. Now, there's a number of different ways of listening. All right, so there's the obvious listening with our ears, where we, hear what's going on around us. But we can also listen with other things. So, sorry, I just got distracted by what I was hearing. So, your senses, sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. That's one way of listening. We can listen through all those senses by input of information. What I am hearing is that we have another way of listening. We can listen. Actually, we have a bunch of ways of listening. Okay, so now I just heard that every chakra has an aspect of listening. So I'm just going to listen to what I'm being told. So crown chakra, that is us listening to the divine. Our sense of divine being, our sense of that bigger picture of who we are, our connection to divine wisdom, to collective consciousness, and we can listen to that connection. For me, that connection feels like a beautiful white light, and it just hums. It's like like this beautiful angelic hum every time I tap in and listen to that divine consciousness. We can also listen with our third eye. what I'm hearing is that our third eye is constantly putting out information, putting out energy. This is what we're looking for. So if we're saying, oh, I'm so broke, it's going to say, okay, let's make sure this person stays broke. Oh, I'm so whatever. Let's make sure this person stays. So it actually listens to what our inner voice is saying, and helps us to listen and find that we're seeking. So it's important that we listen to what is our inner voice actually saying. What are we actually asking for in our third eye? What are we actually attracting and noticing? I do lots of readings for people, and I hear all the time, oh, but my gut like led me to that situation, and it felt like it was so perfect and so right, and then it was a total disaster, right? And it's like, I can't trust my intuition. Well, actually, yes, you can. What you have to do is change what you're asking for. Because in these situations, it was like, yes, well, from my own limiting beliefs, I always believed, even though I know it's not true, my limiting belief is that I'm selfish and I make bad judgments. So I tended to attract people that were very controlling. Then that way I didn't have to worry about my bad judgments. And I tended to attract people that needed a lot of help, because then I couldn't possibly be selfish. And so my intuition said, help me not be selfish and make bad judgments. And so it's like, oh, okay, I'll find controlling people that need a lot of help. So now I've switched what I'm asking for. Sometimes your intuition is leading you exactly where it is. So we need to learn to listen to what our intuition is actually asking us for. And because we are listening and finding exactly what we are asking for. I am hearing, we need to listen to what we are putting out in the world. So throat chakra sometimes comes out my mouth because it's communication. How are we talking to ourselves? Our inner, like, let's listen to how we are speaking to ourselves. Let's listen to what we are putting out in the world. Do we tend to be negative? Hearing to tell you a story. I worked at an early learning center for a while. It was 100 Voices, which is pre-K, K, and grade 1. And we had a big outdoor focus. And so we had this little thing where we talked as a staff, like we can't come in and be like, oh, it's so cold, it's terrible outside. We have to talk about the weather in a different way, because we want to teach kids that weather is weather. And there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing, at least where I live. I don't live in hurricanes and those kinds of things. I understand. That was pointed out to me by a student. It's like, teacher, what about a hurricane? I'm like, yeah, I guess you can't really wear anything to protect you from a hurricane. But here where I live, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. And so we had to really check our words. And every time we said, oh, the weather's terrible, or oh, it's so cold, or it's gross outside, or whatever, we had a little, like, it's almost like a swear jar where we had to put some money or an IOU in the little swear jar every time someone's caught us saying it, because we realized that by saying those negative things about the weather, we were teaching the children to feel that way about the weather. So to recognize that our words have power. So we need to listen, not just to what we're saying, not just to what we're saying internally, but we need to listen to the impact that our words are having around us. Yeah, I'm hearing that every time we say, this isn't meant as a guilt or anything, there is never any judgment. Just as a little aside, as I'm receiving messaging, there is never, ever judgment. Even when I said we need to or we should, there's never a you're bad if you don't. It's more, this will help you. There is never any judgment. I'm hearing, though, that there is an awareness that when we are using negative words, when we are, yelling at somebody because they cut us off or whatever, we are putting that negativity into the ether, and that's part of the energy that we need to cleanse and clear from and get rid of. So be aware. Listen to what are you putting out. Listen to how you're communicating with yourself. Moving into the heart chakra, listen to your heart. There is purpose and meaning in sadness. There is purpose and meaning in grief. There's purpose and meaning in all of the emotions that we feel. Something makes us joyful. Listen, what is it that makes us joyful? When we feel love, what is it that's making us feel love? When we feel sadness or pain, what is it that's making us feel sadness or pain? That's how we learn, that's how we grow, that's how we evolve from the things that are hurting us to the things that we want, to the things that we want to become or that we want to grow into. That is all housed in the heart. And so often we turn those things off. We don't want to hear some of those more challenging things. And so allowing us to connect and listen to what's going on in the heart. Solar plexus. I am hearing that here we need to listen to our desires isn't the right word. Our anxieties, our fears, but also our drives. That's the right word, our drives. So unlike desires, which are more the sacral chakra, this is our drives. What is driving us? What motivates us? So listening and finding in that solar plexus, what is motivating us? What is allowing us to go from one place to the other? But in that motivation, what is motivating us to stay held back? What is motivating us to procrastinate? What is motivating us to do the things that we aren't happy that we're doing right now? Because there's all motivation. Nobody wakes up and says, I'm going to purposely make myself miserable. No. What is it that's motivating us to do the things that make us miserable? Or what is motivating us to do the things that hold us back? So recognizing your motivation and what's driving us. Moving into the sacral chakra, this is kind of our deeper, our I am, the kind of like the deeper, the desires, the who we are at the core kind of thing. And it's about listening to that, listening to recognize who we truly are. And this goes back to the beginning messaging, to show up as we are. Rather than trying to be the best of the best of the best of the best all the time. There's a time and a place for that, but to show up as you are, day to day, moment to moment, that's where that comes from, that sacral chakra. And the more you show up as you are, the more you love and accept and connect with who you are, as opposed to who you want to be. And then listening to the root chakra, this one's a little bit different. What I'm hearing is that when you're listening to the root chakra, what makes you feel solid? What makes you feel grounded? Hearing to tell you a story. When I was 19, I know I've shared this story before. I saw a psychic and they looked at both my hands and they were like, oh my. He's like, you've got like two totally different personalities going on here. One craves, stability, structure, da 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 da. The other one is just like, run away, join the circus, whatever. Who knows what's going to happen? Live by the seat of your pants. He said the two sides war with each other all the time. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because in my root chakra, I need both. I need that magic and mysticism and kind of flying by the seat of my pants, being spontaneous, but I also need that structure to be happy. And so recognizing what is it you need, because not everybody needs the same thing. If I look at my sister and I are the most polar opposite people. And my whole fly by the seat of my pants kind of idea and go with the flow makes her crazy because she needs absolute structure. I understand the value of that structure, but I could not live in a situation that is 100% structured. So we are happy in different ways. Does it mean her way's right? Not necessarily. Does it mean my way's right? Not necessarily. I see people that are able to, live out of their van and have no fixed address and travel around. And a part of me is like, oh, I'd love to do that. But then I know that the part of me that needs that structure and that routine and that whatever would not be happy in that. So what I'm hearing is listen to what that root chakra tells you you actually need. And it might not look anything like what somebody else needs, but it's about listening to what you need. So learning, first of all, to listen to yourself as we went through the chakras, listening to yourself. And as you master listening to yourself, you then can become better at listening to all the other information, all the other guidance and collective wisdom, divine wisdom, and all the other wisdom that's available to us. As we learn to listen better to ourselves, we can listen better to all of that as well. Whew, that was a lot of words. Anything else for the group? I just heard take a deep breath. So let's all just take a deep breath together and just internalize all that wisdom that just came. I feel like that was a lot today. I'm definitely going to have to listen back to this. I record the first part so that I can listen back and hear all that again. That was a lot of wisdom today. All right.